scandal to fix. Who you gonna call?
What do you want?
Olivia Pope, of course. So what would Olivia do with the juiciest political scandals of the century? The real ones.
I've not been a perfect man.
I was an imperfect messenger.
Right they are. Tonight, an outrageous, irreverent top 10 list of the Bad Boys Club.
Rod Blagojevic.
The real Olivia Pope. Scandal's Uber fixer, Judy Smith.
Sex is pretty big in Washington.
So who makes the cut?
Someone speak, please.
Wiener's selfies.
The photograph doesn't look familiar to me, but...
What dude doesn't know what he looks like in the mirror? I mean, come on.
But if you look at it long enough, it's a little terrifying.
Oh wait, he's talking about John Edwards' baby mama and immaculate conception.
I know that it's not possible that this child could be mine. That's a lie.
What about Larry Craig, the cop, and the bathroom bust?
I am not gay.
You got a wife's stance. Occasionally, you're gonna meet people that way.
I am a gay American.
News to his wife. But then a lot is news to these ladies.
It hit me like a ton of bricks. I mean, it was awful on so many levels.
Tonight, sex, spies, greed, and cover-ups. Yep, just another day in Washington.
It's handled.
If you say so. Here's Nick Watt.
You were expecting Olivia Pope. This is her conference room. This is the set of Scandal. But tonight, we have the reality. We have some of the terrible truths that inspired some of that fabulous fiction. A panel of politicos helped us put together the top 10 scandals of the century. You'd have thought people would have learnt from Bill and Monica's not-so-excellent adventure last century. But no, they haven't. They haven't zippered up. They haven't smartened up. And here are our winners. In at number 10, we have the one and only Gary Condit, my personal favorite. This suntan California congressman's career was blooming like a DC cherry tree in the spring of '01, until the young intern he was having a secret affair with just plain disappeared.
He is having an affair with an intern. At the same time, she goes missing. It's like not just now a sex scandal, it's also a murder scandal.
Security camera tapes from Chandra's building had been erased, and the cops accidentally fried the hard drive on her computer.
They bungled the investigation, so therefore all the attention was focused on Gary Condit.
Chandra was just 24 years old, a couple of years older than Condit's own daughter. It didn't look good. He didn't look good.
He's really bad at looking innocent. He's better at seeming guilty.
This terrible tale mirrors a plot line on Scandal.
It's gonna blow over.
What? Had sex way more than the public knows about with a 21-year-old intern.
In real life, Chandra's desperate parents hired crisis manager Judy Smith, the real-life inspiration for Scandal's Olivia Pope.
You want finding your child to be top priority. Some of his own actions gave people the impression that he was not being forthcoming and he had something to hide.
Turning up the heat on Congressman Gary Condit.
Puts Condit in the category of possible suspect.
He's a coward. At worst, he's guilty of something.
Man, he makes OJ look innocent, doesn't he?
Team Condit took a huge gamble.
Gary Condit breaks his silence. Tonight, Connie Chung with the first interview.
Congressman Condit, do you know what happened to Chandra Levy?
No, I didn't.
He felt as if I was, interrogating him under a hot light. In many ways, I was. May I ask you, was it a sexual relationship?
Connie, I've been married for 34 years, and I've not been a perfect man.
This imperfect man never actually answered that question.
Connie Chung said the interview was hardball, and critics today say it was softball. Hey, it looked like dodgeball, if you ask me. That's what it was.
And then Connie asked him point blank.
Did you kill Chandra Levy?
I did not.
I mean, that interview with Connie Chung, I've never seen an innocent man look so guilty.
In the space of one sultry summer, Condit became a late-night joke.
Larry King interviewed Gary Condit. Remember Gary Condit? Yeah. Listen to this. Larry King is missing.
An adulterer, and in the minds of many, a murder suspect. But Condit was totally innocent. The FBI's investigator Brad Garrett believed him, even if few others did.
It was my belief that he probably had nothing to do with what happened to her.
Didn't matter. Condit lost the Democratic primary in his district. He was out. of Congress. And 7 long years later, this man, a random stranger, was convicted of Chandra Levy's murder. Condit had just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. He just happened to be sleeping with an intern who just happened to get murdered by somebody else. Gary Condit has never again held political office. He and his wife stayed together and opened 2 Baskin-Robbins ice cream stores in Arizona, but was sued by the franchise for breach of contract. In 2010, he tried to help his son run for Congress. He lost.
I've not been a perfect man.
Imagine that. Moving on to number 9, it's Valerie Plame.
I had the best job. I loved what I did. I was so proud to serve my country.
Valerie Plame was an undercover CIA spy until someone in the White House blew her cover because they were pissed at her husband. Wow.
It just felt like I had been sucker punched. I was concerned about the assets with whom I had worked with over the years because they were in jeopardy.
It was 2002 and everyone was talking Saddam. Did he have weapons of mass destruction? Did he have nukes? Some were saying he was buying uranium from Africa. And Plame's husband, a suave diplomat named Joe Wilson, was sent to Niger to investigate.
The documents around it were forged, and he comes back and says this to the Bush administration, and they go, shove off.
They totally ignored Joe Wilson because they wanted to build a case for war.
The British government has learned that Saddam Hussein recently sought significant quantities of uranium from Africa.
The U.S. invaded. There was no African uranium. There were no nukes. And Joe Wilson went public with his side of the story.
He wrote that the intelligence had been manipulated.
So someone started telling reporters that Valerie Plame was in the CIA.
They said, oh, come on, your wife's in the CIA. Let's talk about that. And then that's illegal.
To expose Valerie Plame and put her at some risk shows just how angry they were and how vindictive they could be. It was an abuse of power.
What my husband did was speak truth to power at a time when that was very unpopular.
Plame and her husband left Washington for Santa Fe. Their life story was fashioned into a movie called Fair Game. And just last month, Plame penned a spy thriller titled Blowback. Okay, can an outed former spy for the CIA collect unemployment?
I did not receive unemployment. I'm not sure what I would put on the application.
Coming in at number 8.
Blagojevic. Blagojevic with the schnitzel.
The man with the Lego figure hairdo and a brass neck. He did it the Chicago way and wound up in the jailhouse. In 2008, when Barack Obama was elected president, Blago, the governor of Illinois, had the honor of filling his empty Senate seat. And Blago decided he would sell that Senate seat.
I mean, I've got this thing, and it's golden. And I'm just not giving it up. Nothing.
These are actual wiretaps of Blago chatting with his chief of staff.
Here's the immediate challenge. How do we take some of the financial pressure off of our family here? Amy's going to college in 6 years, and we can't afford it.
And he toyed with the idea of appointing an Obama ally in exchange for a fancy pants job.
You don't believe I can be ambassador to India or the court of St. James? How about Russia?
The feds swooped in.
Governor Blagojevic has taken us to a truly new low.
New low? Just wait to see what else is on our list. Blago was bleating his innocence on any show that would have it.
It's bleeping golden. I'm just not giving it up for bleeping nothing.
I wish they would allow me in this impeachment trial to be able to bring the evidence to show exactly what those conversations were.
Few believed him.
Therefore, Rod R. Blagojevich is removed from the office of governor of the state of Illinois effective immediately.
Still, Blago soldiered on. Yep, even singing Elvis with Fabio. And chatting with Dave.
Well, you know, I've been wanting to be on your show in the worst way for the longest time.
Well, you're on in the worst way, believe me.
He thought, and with some justification, that he was charming enough that he could get his way out of it through his winning personality.
Even on the stand, he utterly charmed the jury.
We had to put aside the fact that whether we liked him or didn't like him.
But there was that pesky proof.
I mean, I've got this thing, and it's golden.
Blago was convicted on corruption and sentenced to 14 years behind bars. His political career and his TV career were over.
Rod, you're fired.